Welcome to In the Green Room. Today we have Borja Pérez, Senior Vice President of Revenue Strategy and Innovation.
Thank you for joining.
No, thank you for inviting me.
As we prepare for 2019, all the teams have one section in common, and that is digital. If you were to point out any digital priorities, what do you think they should be across the board?
Our main focus right now is going to be video. We see that the market or the consumer is consuming more video than ever. So our job is to look at anything within our catalog or library and see how can we either reformat or create new IP out of other things that we own in order for us to create more video. Then the second thing is to partner with the right platforms to be able to distribute that video as much as we could, and then working very, very close with our partners at research, because it's all about understanding the consumer behavior. I always joke about millennials. We've been talking about millennials for 10 years now. Now the whole thing is about Gen Z.
And what's the difference between millennials and Gen Z?
Well, basically millennials is 18 to 34, and then when you go to Gen Zs, I will say anything between from 14 to 22, 26. That's kind of like the gap. And now, as I've been reading lately, we talk about the alphas, so which is the ones that are coming behind the other ones. And if you really look at consumption between millennials, Gen Zs, and alphas, it's really different. You see, how different is the consumption. We see millennials doing heavy consumption on Netflix. Then you look at consumption of video for Gen Zs. These guys are the ones that they're enjoying right now: Instagram, Snapchat, which it brings another completely code of communication. It's more iconographic, it's faster, shorter. Yeah.
Terms.
And then you have, the alphas, and as a father of a 10-year-old, these guys spend their life in YouTube. It's really, really amazing to see how, that change in behavior is changing different content trends. And our job is to work with, our teams and to make sure that we extract that knowledge and we start building and producing and experimenting in order to be able to deploy that content that the consumer wants.
In terms of Telemundo's audience and knowing our audience, how would you describe them demographically?
Depending on the platform, you will have one type of an audience or another, and that's what I always said, is you have certain audience in our morning show Nuevo Dia for linear, and then you have a tremendous amount of audience on their social. So the goal is, adapting that intellectual property and the brand values and the content to the different audiences. Still, Un Nuevo Dia starts at 6, on linear. Un Nuevo Dia starts at any time when you wake up on your Facebook page.
And I was looking at your team's own digital roadmap, and you identify collaborate across the company as an important point. Yeah. Are there any opportunities for collaboration that you think we should maximize, and any recommendations on how we can make that happen?
Actually, it shouldn't be an opportunity. It should be a priority. The purpose of having this building is obviously to have the right, production assets in order for us to produce content and develop more IP. But the most important is that IP is going to come from collaboration. And we are all under one roof: scripted, non-scripted productions, corporate communications, digital, you name it, international. And it's exciting to see the amount of ideas and new projects that there are in the last 6 months, that we've been here. A lot of projects have been arising, thanks to collaboration.
And having seen the amount of change you've seen in the digital world over the past 5-10 years, what excites you most about the future?
The goal here is to be always ahead of our times, be progressive, and trying to really embrace that change. I incentivize a lot my team to have external focus. You had to look outside of these walls, you had to travel, you had to try new things, and if you find something cool, bring it on, and we will analyze it. So it's going to be a lot of change. Our job is to keep an eye outside, be focused inside, collaborate a lot, and I think that we are pretty well set up for the future, and I'm excited. You see the lineup for next year. Come on, we're gonna have La Reina del Sur, The Voice, El Varón, La Copa, Women's World Cup, products like Latinx Now, that is probably one of the most avant-garde programming offerings that ever has been created, not in the Hispanic market, in the market, right? So I'm excited.
Well, thank you so much, Borja, for being with us, and we look forward to see what the digital dive brings us soon.